This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to our day one training session of Oracle Golden Gate Classic Architecture training. My name is Ashish Agarwal, and I'll be delivering this session to you. So before commencing the session, just a quick round of update regarding my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Ashish Agarwal _GG. So if you haven't visited the channel yet, I would highly recommend you to do visit the channel. The channel has a lot of Golden Gate related videos, and do like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you. So let us start our training session for day one. So first of all, I welcome you all to our day one training session of Oracle Golden Gate Classic Architecture. So the agenda of training include lot of things apart from things mentioned over here, like introduction to Oracle Golden Gate, architecture of Oracle Golden Gate, which is very important stuff. How to perform download and installation of Oracle Golden Gate, where to download Oracle Golden Gate, how to use Golden Gate as a hub, we'll be discussing. What are different concepts and components of Oracle Golden Gate? DML replication using Oracle Golden Gate. So how do you replicate, insert, update, delete the transactions which require exclusive commit? We'll be discussing during the training. Then how to perform initial load using Oracle Golden Gate. Then we also discuss how to strategize zero downtime upgradation and migration using Oracle Golden Gate. Then one of the major feature of Oracle Golden Gate is data filtration and transformation. So Golden Gate has capability to filter out the transaction. So by filtration, we mean, say for example, you have 100 transactions happening on source. Say for example, you want to replicate the data of only 5 transactions, you can do that. Similarly, you can transform the data using Oracle Golden Gate. Along with that, you can use Oracle Golden Gate with business intelligence tools like Informatica or ODI as well. So Golden Gate has multiple functionalities which you will be seeing during the session. Then we'll be discussing about bidirectional replication in Oracle Golden Gate. So Oracle Golden Gate supports unidirectional as well as bidirectional replication. So I have also included in my training like bidirectional auto CDR, automatic concept detection and resolution, which is new feature of Golden Gate. This is, in fact, Oracle University training is also may also not be including it. So bidirectional configuration is also included. Then DDL replication using Oracle Golden Gate. How to monitor the lag. So during the training, I will be covering in detail about Golden Gate performance, Oracle Golden Gate performance part. I'll be covering in detail. So one of the feature is how to perform, how to monitor the lag in Oracle Golden Gate environment. We'll be discussing. So related to performance, I'll be discussing latest features of Oracle Golden Gate, which has been introduced from 12.2 or 12.3 onwards, like performance metric server, heartbeat table, and bidirectional auto CDR, and lot of other stuff which is part of this training, which I'll be discussing with you. Okay, then along with that, I'll be discussing troubleshooting. So in my training, in this training, you will be getting troubleshooting of Oracle Golden Gate, how to perform troubleshooting, as well as performance tuning in detail. Then we'll be discussing about checkpoints. So how Golden Gate ensures data integrity in your environment. Then we'll be discussing security. Golden Gate new feature called as self-describing trail files we'll be discussing. Then Golden Gate parameters, which are very important. How to create parameter, how to understand parameter. So basically, upon completion of this training or being part of this training, you may be giving interviews for, you will be hired as a Golden Gate administrator where you need to design and set up Oracle Golden Gate. So you need to create the parameter file. So, and also you may be asked to support any existing Golden Gate environment. There you should be able to understand or learn what comprehend basically existing parameter files. So parameter files are very important, and we'll be discussing about that. And then we'll be discussing about log dump utility of Oracle Golden Gate, which allows you to read the trail files. So apart from this, we'll be discussing a lot of things in details like obey file, macros, and a lot of other stuff is part of the training, which you'll understand, which you'll learn during the training. So this is just the brief introduction or brief agenda which I have mentioned over here. Apart from that, there is a lot of things which will be coming. So before I proceed, one thing is Oracle database architecture. I want to discuss about Oracle database architecture. So Oracle database architecture. So Golden Gate is a product basically which allows you to replicate the data from one side to other side. So Golden Gate is a CDC tool. Golden Gate is a CDC tool. So CDC stands for change data capture. Okay. Now, when we call it as change data capture, so that means that whatever changes are happening or so on source database, those changes will be captured by the Golden Gate and will be applied on the target database. So Golden Gate is a change data capture tool which replicates the data from source to target. Now, from where does it capture the change? So irrespective, we talk about Golden Gate. There are other change data capture tools like DataGuard. It's also a change data capture tool. Or Oracle Streams, which used to be there, which Golden Gate has completely replaced. So it is also a change data capture tool. And there are a lot of competitors which we'll be discussing going forward. So a lot of competitors are also there. So each CDC tool has a source. So what that source is, where the changes are recorded. So each database has its own logs available. Each database has its own logs, like SQL Server, MySQL, we call them as transaction logs. In case of Oracle, those logs are called as redo logs or backup of redo logs, which are called as archive logs. So this is the Oracle database architecture. So Oracle database architecture, so this architecture is big, right? Oracle database, as you all know. I'm going to discuss only a brief about it, whatever is needed for Golden Gate. Okay. So Oracle database architecture is divided into two parts, instance and Oracle database. So instance contain memory structures as well as background processes. Oracle database contains the files, data files, control files, and redo files. So what happens is in the instance memory components, you have library cache, data dictionary cache, database buffer cache, Java pool, redo log buffer, large pool, and other memory components. In background processes, you have pmon, smon, database writer process, log writer process, checkpoint, and there are other background processes. So what happens is whenever a change is made, so a dirty buffer is read to the database buffer cache. So dirty buffer is the one which is changed. And before database writer process can write that process to data file, it gets returned to the redo log buffer. Now from redo log buffer, data gets returned into redo log file using the background process called as log writer. So log writer is the process which writes the data from redo log buffer to redo log file. So whatever changes are happening into the database, whether it is insert, whether it is update, whether it is delete, or any DDL transaction happening at the database. So be it a small change at database level or big change at database level, each change gets recorded into redo log files. From where does it get the changes? From the redo log buffer with the help of log writer process. So log writer process writes the data from redo log buffer to redo log file under these conditions. Whenever commit happens. So whenever commit happens, the data from redo log buffer gets returned to redo log file by the log writer process. Or like that log writer process writes to redo log file when redo log file is 1/3 full. Or sorry, redo log buffer is 1/3 full. Or when there is 1 MB of redo. Or every 3 seconds. So every 3 seconds, log writer is going to write the data from redo log buffer to redo log file. Or before database writer process writes the process from the data, before database writer process writes the data from database buffer cache to data file, before that log writer process writes the data from redo log buffer to redo log file. Any idea why it happens? Anyone would like to answer this quickly? Why redo log buffer writes the
To
data?
recover the data in case of crash recovery.
Exactly, exactly. So say for example, your database crashes in between. So this data, basically you can redo the data from the redo log file. So you have the data available into redo log file and it is used for recovery purpose. So all the changes gets recorded into the redo log file. Now redo log file size is limited. So you define redo log file like 50 MB, 100 MB, 150 MB, 200 MB, and number of redos you defined are like 3, 8 or something. So once these redo log files get full, the backup of redo log files is taken on disk, and the backup of redo log files are known as archive log files. So these archive log files reside on the operating system. So Oracle Golden Gate, or if I call any change data capture tool, any change data capture tool receives the changes from the transaction logs of the database. So in case of Oracle, these transaction logs are called as redo logs or backup of redo logs, which are called as archive logs. So ultimate source for any change data capture tool, whether it is Golden Gate or any other change data capture tool, the ultimate source is redo log file or backup of redo log file, which are called as archive log file. So in case of other databases like SQL Server, MySQL, these transaction logs are called as transaction logs. Okay, so let us now move to next. So this is the brief overview about Oracle database architecture. Now this is really very big architecture. So for Golden Gate, we need these files, redo log files or arc. These are important files. So you have to ensure one thing, that all the changes, whatever changes are happening into database for Golden Gate to capture, they should be written into these files, the transaction logs. If any change is not written into these transaction logs, Golden Gate cannot capture. Second point is, these files, transaction logs of the database, contains committed as well as uncommitted data. So it's not like these transaction files contains only committed transactions. No, these files contains committed as well as uncommitted transaction. Now significance of this line you will be understanding going forward. So just for your understanding, keep this thing in mind, that committed as well as uncommitted transactions are part of your transaction logs. Okay, so now there are various data replication tools available in the market. Apart from Oracle Golden Gate, Golden Gate has a lot of competitors available in the market, like EMC Recover Point, IBM Mirror, SharePlex, Attunity, Hitachi TrueCopy. HP has its own product which is available in the market. So there are a lot of tools available which work as competitor of Oracle Golden Gate. Now, if I ask you to name a competitor of Golden Gate, what would you name? Which product you would think that is a competitor of Golden Gate? I know your answer, and I know many of you would be thinking that, but I want to hear. So if I have to ask you, which product do you think is a competitor of Golden Gate and is not part of that list? Which one would you name? Anyone would like to answer this? Okay, so yes, DataGuard. So many of you must be thinking that DataGuard could be the competitor of Golden Gate, right? How many of you think that? I have received 4 answers in the chat about it. But how many of you think that DataGuard is competitor of Golden Gate? So the thing is, Golden Gate is not, DataGuard is not competitor of Golden Gate. The reason being, you can compare apple with an apple. You cannot compare orange with an apple, right? So that is the difference. So DataGuard and Golden Gate are completely different, like not completely different technologies, but the way they work is completely different. Now, what is the difference? How they work differently? We'll be discussing about that later on. Okay. Now, one answer which I have received is Oracle Data Integrator. So Oracle Data Integrator is not a competitor because ODI is a tool which is not a replication tool. It can be used as a replication tool. Its primary task is not the replication tool. Its primary task is to integrate the data. So ODI you cannot consider as the competitor. Now SharePlex is, as I mentioned, yes, SharePlex is competitive, one of the nearest competitor of Oracle Golden Gate. So SharePlex is kind of segments in terms of replication tools. If you ask me personally, I have seen, apart from Golden Gate, I have seen SharePlex, or to some point I have seen Attunity in the being used by different organizations. But Golden Gate scores heavily above other products. Why? What is the reason? We'll discuss in the next uh, slide. Streams. Anil is saying that streams. So streams is obsolete now. So Oracle Golden Gate replaced streams. So streams is no longer there. Now AWS DMS services is also there, but it has certain limits. So it is also getting in market right now, AWS DMS services. But the thing is, the product is a bit unheard of and untouched right now. So to call it a competitor of Golden Gate, it has a lot of miles to cross right now. So you are correct. It may have some. I have done few uh, deployments related to it, but there are few differences which you can understand once you go through this training. Okay, so let us move forward now. So now the question comes, there are competitor of Oracle Golden Gate, but why Golden Gate? Why do we need Oracle Golden Gate? Why Golden Gate is so popular? Why there are so many jobs available in the market related to Golden Gate, but why not for SharePlex? Why not Attunity is that popular? The reason being, there are financial as well as technical reasons related to it. So let us first discuss about technical reasons related to it. So with Golden Gate, data is sent in real time with sub-second latency. So Golden Gate sends the data in real time with sub-second latency. That means that you commit the data on source database and it gets replicated on target database within real time. So Golden Gate is a product which replicates the data in near real time with minimum seconds. It depends on, of course, the network and also the design of Oracle Golden Gate, which we'll be discussing going forward. Then another advantage with Golden Gate is it supports environments across different databases and different types. So with Golden Gate, your target database can be Oracle or any supported non-Oracle database. And your platform on which your source database resides, it can be different than the target database. So your source database can reside on Linux, target can reside on AIX. Source can reside on Sun Solaris, target can reside on Windows. Golden Gate can replicate the data. Similarly, source could be Oracle, target could be DB2. Golden Gate can replicate the data. Source can be SQL Server, target can be MySQL. Golden Gate can replicate the data. So Golden Gate supports heterogeneous environment across different data types and hardware types. Then high performance with low impact. So see, one thing is Golden Gate is a product which is external to the database. Okay. Now, I would not say that the impact, so see any product which is external to the database, if you put it on top of the database, it establishes some connection. So definitely it is going to have some impact, though the impact may be very low, very minimal, but the impact it has. But the value it provides, the performance driven product Golden Gate is, the impact it has, it nullify the effect of impact. So Golden Gate delivers high performance with very minimal impact. In fact, with the introduction of integrated capture, so earlier you used to have classic capture, so impact used to be around 1 to 2%. Now with the introduction of integrated capture, the impact has reduced almost 10 times on the database. Then ability to move large volume of data very efficiently. So Golden Gate can move large volume of data, like it can easily replicate your blob, clob, large objects as well, very efficiently and easily. No single point of failure. So it's very easy. So there are multiple steps involved in Oracle Golden Gate. So troubleshooting of Oracle Golden Gate is easy. So there are each component present to do its own work. It's not like one component is doing the same work. There are multiple components and you can troubleshoot and find the issue. Then apart from that, what are the financial reasons for an organization to opt for Oracle Golden Gate? So there are multiple reasons for it. The first reason is like in today's world, like many of you must have seen the Golden Gate is a licensed product. We all know that. Now, what organizations do is they signed a end user license agreement with Oracle, EULA. So what happens is when they sign end user license agreement with Oracle, in that case, they're free to uh, use Oracle Golden Gate on any number of servers. If you buy the uh, license separately, in that case, what happens is you will have to pay for you will have to pay separately. But when you sign end user license agreement, definitely based on terms and conditions, you're free to use Oracle Golden Gate. So what organizations are doing, Because Golden Gate provides a lot of performance related enhancement. It provides a lot of benefits to an organization. So they are using Golden Gate at a lot of places. And this is the reason they are using Golden Gate. And the reason why Golden Gate administrator jobs are getting in demand is due to this. Okay. So Golden Gate delivers high performance with very low impact. Now, Golden Gate is being used in a lot of places right now. So top commercial banks. So this data, what you see right now on the screen, it is from 2011. Now Golden Gate is being utilized, but all top commercial banks are using it. You name Bank of America, Royal Bank of Scotland, CIBC. And in India, when we talk about ICICI, HDFC. In fact, RBI has made it a mandate to use Golden Gate for all the banks. So all the commercial banks are using it. All the State Bank of India, it is using Oracle Golden Gate. Like with the implementation of Golden Gate, they are saving millions of rupees, hundred of millions of rupees per day. Then top three of busiest ATM network. Now the history behind Golden Gate is in 1995, Golden Gate was founded and it was named after famous San Francisco Bridge, Golden Gate Bridge. Until 2009, it was a standalone company. In 2009, Oracle overtook it, and since then, it is known as Oracle Golden Gate. Now, initially, when it was developed or founded, it was founded and it was developed for ATM networks. ATM network use uh, Tandem database, I guess. So they use the database, Enscribe database, which was at that moment was could be replicated only using Oracle Golden Gate. So it was now there are with the span there were several products which got developed, but initially only Golden Gate could replicate the data of ATM networks. So all ATM networks are using it. Financial data services are using it. Telecommunication provider. So you name a telecommunication provider, they are using it. Like Vodafone. So Vodafone India is using Golden Gate like something. So they are using Golden Gate for business intelligence purpose. They are using Golden Gate for lot of things. Then you name telecommunication provider like Rogers, it is using Oracle Golden Gate. You name Sprint, it is using Oracle Golden Gate. So Golden Gate is being used by all top telecommunication provider. It is also being used by all the largest food and drug stores. So in all domains, like Shoppers Drug Mart is using Oracle Golden Gate. So all Golden Gate right now is being getting utilized in all domains. It has a lot of benefits and it is getting utilized in all the domains. In fact, the electricity companies are also using Golden Gate right now. So Golden Gate complements existing Oracle products like continuous availability for heterogeneous systems. So it ensures that the databases are highly available. Real-time data access for reporting. So you can use Golden Gate for reporting purpose. Real-time data for business intelligence, EPM and Exadata. So Golden Gate, along with ODI and Informatica, is one of the best tool available in the market for business intelligence. Then Golden Gate also supports zero downtime upgradation and migration. So if you want to perform like in today's world, like there are a lot of cloud migrations going on or or database upgradations are going on. So organization want to ensure that they do it with zero downtime. So how to do that? If they use Oracle Golden Gate, it's done with zero downtime. So it ensures high availability, zero downtime upgrades and migration, live reporting and business intelligence. So Oracle Golden Gate supports a lot of databases and platforms. So this list again list only few. So it supports Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, Sybase, Ingress. So this is the Enscribe database, which was initially Golden Gate was developed for this database. Then it supports multiple platforms. So from 12C and 19C onwards, it also supports NoSQL database, Informix databases as well. Postgres is also supported. So in fact, until 12.3, replication to Postgres was supported. Now extraction from Postgres is also supported. And different OS and platforms it supports are Windows, Linux, Sun Solaris, HP, UX. These are few to name. Okay, so Golden Gate is a product which allows you to replicate the data between heterogeneous databases and different heterogeneous platforms. Like when we compare to DataGuard, so DataGuard is a product which works only from Oracle to Oracle, and second thing is it needs same platform between source and target. That's not the case with Oracle Golden Gate. Another thing is Golden Gate supports backward and forward compatibility as well. So your source Golden Gate can be 12C, target can be 9C, 19C. A source Golden Gate can be 19C, Golden Gate can be 12C. So Golden Gate works in that scenario as well. Okay. So let us now discuss about architectural overview. Prior to that, let us take few questions. So if you have any question, you can ask. So Arpit is
So,
asking one question. Uh, does Golden Gate also use to BI metadata replication? So yes, you can use Golden Gate for DDL replication. I hope that's what you mean, Arpit.
Actually, Ashish, as we know, when this BI, we are using separate utility for managing it. Uh, so, just want to know if we can do the metadata replication as well. That is
So
specific to
that will
OTA.
come under DDL replication. If you add any new metadata, then it can be replicated. Initially, for setting up, you will need to create the metadata, but ongoing, yes, you can use Golden Gate for DDL replication.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so Satish is asking one question. It's a licensing related question. So Satish is asking if I need to use GG only for migration purpose, what is the licensing terms? So Satish, this product is owned by Oracle. So I would suggest to pass any licensing question to Oracle. See, I'm not the licensing expert, and it depends on different. It depends on your account manager, Oracle account manager, and terms with between account manager and your organization. So Oracle is a company which can give huge discount or which may not give any discount. So it depends. Like it may be possible that if I'm using huge Oracle product or if I'm using Oracle extensively, they may give me product for trial purpose. They may give me product at 80% discount, 90% discount, but same product will be available to some other company at different discount, at no discount. So it completely depends on your organization. So I will bypass that licensing part. Okay.
And I have one question.
Yeah.
Backward compatibility. So the version which we are using, that one will be used for 10G databases and 11G databases.
So, Ahmad, that question for you will be answered in the next session. When we will be installing Oracle Golden Gate, you will get answer to that question.
Sure.
I just want to hold on to your question.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so Anand is asking one question, what kind of data Golden Gate not replicate? So Golden Gate replicate, it has supported data types. So with the introduction of integrated capture and from from 12.3 onwards, there are very less limitations. It's available on Oracle Docs. I can share it with you. So most of the things which are generally used can be replicated using Oracle Golden. Okay. So let us discuss about
Ashish,
different
sorry, just
architectures
uh,
of Oracle Golden Gate. Let us discuss about different architectures of Oracle Golden Gate. So at the start of the session, I mentioned one thing that this session is classic architecture. This training batch we are doing for classic architecture. Now, what is classic architecture? So as I told, there are two types of Oracle Golden Gate architecture. One is classic architecture and second is microservices architecture. Now just to show you a brief, just to give you brief introduction. So as I told you, it was founded in 1995 and it was overtook by Oracle in 2009. So from 2009 to 2017, there was only one way to configure Golden Gate, that was through command prompt. this GGSCI one, which many of you might have worked on. So this is called as, so this until 2017, we used to call it as Oracle Golden Gate. In 2017, Oracle renamed it to Oracle Golden Gate Classic Architecture. So this is now called as Oracle Golden Gate Classic Architecture, which is command prompt based architecture, and we log in through GGSCI. So many of you would be using it. So still, as of today, like not as of today, like last shared Oracle Oracle graph, it showed that 80 to 82% of organizations are using the classic architecture. This architecture is available for Oracle as well as non-Oracle database. Now in 2017, Oracle launched a new architecture of Golden Gate, which is called as microservices architecture. Now many of you must have heard the term microservices with different technologies, right? So in microservices, what happens is things runs as a service. So in microservices, it allows you to set up, manage, troubleshoot Golden Gate through GUI. So Oracle Golden Gate microservices is available from Oracle Golden Gate 12.3 version onwards. So from Golden Gate version 12.3 onwards, you have option to either choose classic or deploy microservices architecture. You have both the architectures available. So so it so microservices, one of the feature include, it allows you to do everything in Golden Gate through GUI. Like you can troubleshoot, you can view the report file, you can set up Golden Gate processes through GUI. It allows for better integration with cloud applications. So another feature of microservices is there is a lot of cloud things going on, right? So it allows, so applications are also moving to cloud right now. So it allows for integration with cloud applications. The thing is, right now, as of today, when we talk, microservices is only available for Oracle database. It is not available for non-Oracle databases. Okay, so there are two types of architecture. One is classic, second is microservices. So if you go out into the market right now, and probably if you are working in any organization, if you're going out for any job interviews or any job support, you will find that 80 to 82% are using classic. It's 15 to 18% where microservices is being used. But microservices is getting very popular nowadays. Oracle has planned to upgrade 40 to 50% of organizations by end of 2022 to microservices architecture. So microservices is getting very popular nowadays. Okay, and if you see, there are a lot of means you may come encounter, or you may get few opportunities where organizations are hiring people just for upgrading their classic architecture to microservices architecture for short-term projects as well. So there are a lot of things going on in Golden Gate. So microservices architecture, you can consider it as kind of a future of Oracle Golden Gate. Classic architecture is present and future. So that doesn't mean classic architecture is going to be obsolete now. Classic architecture is here to stay. Classic architecture is still there. Along with that, microservices is also there. You can choose either classic architecture or microservices architecture to deploy in your environment. Okay. Now then, there is another product of Oracle Golden Gate family, which is called as Oracle Golden Gate Veridata. So many of you must have heard about it, or you may have attended any of my webinar on Veridata, or you may have watched the session on my YouTube channel related to Veridata as well. So Veridata is another product of Oracle Golden Gate family, which allows you to monitor the discrepancies. So Golden Gate is a replication tool, right? So Golden Gate replicates the data from source to target, right? Now, say for example, you have 100,000 records on source, 99,000 records on target. So there is that discrepancy of 1,000 records. So with Veridata, you can run the real-time job. It can find out the discrepancies between those two objects and can repair as well. So those discrepancies of 1,000 records can be repaired by Veridata. Now you may say, Ashish, we can write the SQL script. But the thing is, with Veridata, you don't need any downtime. So the advantage with Veridata is it keeps track of any row which is in flight, which is not yet replicated, but can be replicated later. So there are three things in Golden Gate: classic, microservices, and Veridata. So basically in Golden Gate, anything, whatever you see will be coming from these three. In fact, if you're looking to be Golden Gate certified, so 10 to 15% of questions constitutes Oracle Golden Gate Veridata. So Veridata right now is also getting popular because there are a lot of cloud migrations going on. Okay, so to understand whether data is in sync or not, this Veridata is getting very popular. Okay, so now before I proceed to next slide, so with the introduction of classic architecture, so you may have, many of you may have that question: does integrated no longer exist? Does anybody has that question? Anybody has that question? So my question is, with the introduction of microservices, does that mean integration does not exist? So I have been receiving a lot of questions, or I have been receiving a lot of queries related to it. I have tried to uh, aware people about that by doing a lot of webinars related to it. So the thing is, right now we are talking about here as architecture. Now, integrated and classic are type of extracts. So there are two types of extracts: integrated and classic extract. So the thing is, why people get confused is because the architecture type also contains classic, and the type of extract also contains classic. So the thing is, you can consider traditional architecture. Classic architecture is traditional architecture, microservices is new architecture. Now, under classic architecture, you have different types of extract. Under classic architecture, you have different types of replicates. Similarly, under microservices architecture, you have different types of extracts and different types of replicates. Okay, so what are the different types of extracts available? Integrated extract and classic extract. So there are two types of extracts available: integrated extract and classic extract. So integrated extract is the new extract. I should not say new, but I should be saying the latest available extract. So it's the new latest available extract which is available from Golden Gate version 11.2.04 and database version 11.2.03. And this integrated extract is available only for Oracle database. Classic extract is available since beginning. Okay, so integrated extract basically establishes the connectivity with Logminer database. However, the classic extract establishes the connectivity directly with the database. So we'll be discussing about the difference between integrated extract, classic extract later on during the session. So there are two types of extract: integrated extract and classic extract. Now there are different types of replicates available. First is non-integrated or classic replicate. Second is integrated replicate. So non-integrated replicate is available since beginning. Next is integrated replicate. So integrated replicate is available since Golden Gate version 12.1 and database version 12.2. So for integrated replicate to work, there are two types of replicates. One is there are two integrated replicate. It is available from Golden Gate version 12.1 and database version 12c. Then there is coordinated replicate, which is available from Golden Gate version 12.2. Then there are two types of, so just to give you an overview, I'll be providing the architecture later on. So extract captures the data from source database, replicate process applies the data to the target database. So two types of extracts are integrated extract and classic extract, and different types of replicate include non-integrated replicate, integrated replicate, which is available from Golden Gate version 12.2 and database 12c. Then there is coordinated replicate, which is available from Golden Gate version 12.2. Then there is parallel replicate, which has been introduced recently from Golden Gate version 12.3. So there are two types of parallel replicate. One is parallel non-integrated replicate. For that, you need minimum database version as 12.1 and Golden Gate version 12.3. And then there is parallel integrated replicate. For that, you need database version 12.2 and Golden Gate version is 12.3. So these are the different types of extracts and replicates available. So the answer to the question is, with the introduction of microservices, does integrated no longer exist? So the answer to that question is
No.
integrated is type of extract and replicate. Microservices is type of Golden Gate architecture. So under classic architecture, you can create integrated extract or classic extract. You can create non-integrated replicate, integrated replicate, coordinated replicate, or parallel replicate. Similarly, under microservices of architecture, you can create either integrated extract or classic extract, or non-integrated replicate or integrated replicate, or coordinated or parallel replicate, whatever. Okay. Any question?
Yes, Ashish. So if we use parallel replicate, Golden Gate is 12.3. If you have a databases of 12.1, you can use it for that.
So for that, you can use parallel non-integrated replicate. For using parallel integrated replicate, the minimum database version has to be 12.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yes,
So Vamsi has
Ashish,
one question. He's asking, Veridata can be used with different databases or only with Oracle database? Yes, Vamsi. So Veridata supports heterogeneous databases, which includes DB2, SQL Server, MySQL, and I think Informix as well. So it supports heterogeneous databases as well. There is list of database for that. It does not support every database like it does. I think it does not support Postgres. It supports, there are 5 databases. If I'm not wrong, it supports 5 databases.
Ashish, between classic and integrated, can you please briefly more on this? What exactly this actually, and what is the difference between these two?
So Prashant, this will be clear to you once I discuss about Golden Gate architecture.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So now, so we'll be discussing about Oracle Golden Gate architecture in the next session, like how Oracle Golden Gate works. So architecture is one of the main thing in Oracle Golden Gate. So how Oracle Golden Gate works, I'll give you a brief introduction and then in detail we'll discuss in the next session. And then I'll discuss about how to set up the lab and what emails we have received. So I'll discuss about training now. So Oracle Golden Gate, you have stores database. Target database can be Oracle or any non-Oracle database, non-Oracle supported database. Similarly, target could be Oracle or any supported non-Oracle database. Now, each database has its own transaction logs. So in case of Oracle, these transaction logs are called as redo logs or backup of redo logs, which are called as transaction logs. In case of other databases, let us call them as transaction logs. So whatever changes you make to the database, those changes gets logged into the database transaction logs. Now you configure Golden Gate capture process, which is also known as extract process. So Golden Gate capture or extract process reads the transaction logs in sequential manner and capture the committed transaction. So as I told you, the transaction logs contains committed as well as uncommitted transactions. However, the capture process or extract process is only going to capture the committed transactions. Now, once the transactions are captured, it writes them to the local machine into the local trail file. So into the trail file. The trail file residing on local machine are called as local trail. So these trail files are the files which resides on operating system and contains the data captured by the extract process. Now, once the data becomes available into this trail file, so the trail file residing on source machine is called as local trail. So once the data is available into local trail, Golden Gate data pump process reads the data out of your local trail, sends it over TCP/IP network, and writes it to trail files on target machine. Now these trail files on target machines are called as remote trail files. So pump process reads the data from local trail, writes it to remote trail. Once the data becomes available into remote trail, Golden Gate delivery process reads the data out of your remote trail and apply it to target database. So this delivery process is also known as replicate process. So capture process extracts the data. The work of capture process is to extract the data from source database, and work of delivery process or replicate process is to replicate the data or apply the changes to the target database. So capture process captures the data, write to local trail. Pump process reads the data from local trail, sends it over TCP/IP network and writes to remote trail. And then replicate process reads the data from remote trail and apply it to target database. So these are the three processes involved in Oracle Golden Gate architecture. Now Oracle Golden Gate also works in bidirectional as well. So bidirectional means both the sites can be active and live. So in bidirectional, what happens is now application can be connected to other sites, and in bidirectional both sites will act as source and target. So now whatever changes are happening in the transaction logs, they will be captured by the extract process, return it to local trail. Pump process will write the data. Pump process is going to read the data from local trail and write it to remote trail, and then delivery process or replicate process will apply the data to the target database. So Oracle Golden Gate delivery in bidirectional will have capture, pump, and delivery residing on each side. Each process is independent of each other. So even though your capture and pump is down, your capture and pump of other side can run, or delivery process can run. So each process here is independent of each other. So even if capture pump is down, capture 1 is down, pump 1, replicate 1, capture 2, pump 2, replicate 2 can run. Similarly, if any of the process is down, it does not affect other process running. However, yes, data wise, each process is dependent on each other. So we'll be discussing about this architecture in detail in the next session. This was just the brief introduction of Oracle Golden Gate architecture. So Shankar is asking, does GG replicate encrypted data? So you mean encrypted data in the database? So if you're encrypting it using TDE, there are certain, so Golden Gate integrated replicate can capture the data from the database which is encrypted. Now bidirectional here is nothing but two-way unidirectional with some challenges which we'll be discussing during the topic when we are discussing bidirectional. So capture means extract and delivery means replicate. Exactly, Krishna. Okay. So
Ashish, one more question.
Yeah.
So how do we know like what is our existing architecture? Like how do we check?
So if it is command prompt based architecture, GGSCI1, then it is classic architecture. If you're using admin client or if you're using GUI based architecture, that means it is microservices. So that question will be answered to you automatically once we do installation and setup of Oracle.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So any other question from anyone?
Yeah, Ashish, Amit here. Yeah.
So Adinarayan is asking, does Golden Gate 12 support NoSQL database like MongoDB? Adinarayan, for that we'll have to check the certification metrics. So we'll discuss about that in the next session. You'll come to know about it. Okay. Yeah, Amit, tell me.
Yeah. I recall in my earlier company, they in 11G database there we used to have bidirectional replication. It was not a Golden Gate, but it was some replication setup internal command. So is Golden Gate just like a next version for the replication, like what we used to have in earlier release? We used to have their bidirectional replication we used to have in earlier, say, earlier 11G or release. So
I'm not sure. I cannot comment on that. Means I know about Golden Gate bidirectional replication, but if it is next version of that, I cannot comment on that.
okay, sure, thank you.
They may have written some procedure, external procedure. Means I'm not sure what was done.
Yeah, it was like using Oracle internal packages we used to configure, and say table level or replications we used to configure. That's how it used to be. So that's I thought it is just Golden Gate, maybe just next version of that particular replication. I thought it's okay. Thank you.
I cannot comment on that. No comment.
No problem.
So Golden Gate is a separate tool. So if you ask me, that Golden Gate has its own mechanism of replicating the data. So
Yeah,
instead of
sure.
saying that if it's the next version, no. So in my opinion, I won't say that.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay. So
So
Prathagan is asking few questions like how Golden Gate captured committed data. So all these questions will be answered to you in the next, means once we do the setup, not in the next session, but once we do Oracle Golden Gate setup. So guys, this is just the introduction session and also different types of architecture. So I want you to like take a feel about Golden Gate, and we'll move slowly and steadily into the groove. So in the next session, we'll discuss about Oracle Golden Gate architecture, and also we'll be discussing about how to download and install Oracle Golden Gate. Okay. Okay. So
yeah, Ashish, I have one question.
yeah, Ahmed.
Yeah, so it is mandatory to use when we are using integrated capture. So we have to use integrated replicate. Is
No.
it mandatory?
Okay, that is very good question, Ahmed. So Oracle Golden Gates, it is not mandatory. So your source can be integrated extract, target can be classic replicate. Source can be classic extract, target can be integrated replicate. So anything is means all are individual, so it's not mandatory. So that was a good question. Thank you for asking.
Thanks.
Okay. So I'll take questions if someone have any, but because we are nearing end of the like our time limit is getting over. So I just want to show you related to the training. You must have received some emails. So how to set yourself up for the training. Okay, I just want to show that to you. So you must have received few emails if you are enrolled for the course successfully. So you must have received few emails related to always check. If you haven't received it, you will receive it in some time. And if you have received it, you can see it. So first email which you would have received is you would receive it from my email ID, which is ashishagarwalag@gmail.com. So first email is regarding your course training enrollment confirmation. So do check your enrollment confirmation from this email. So there are 3 courses which I provide. So one is classic architecture, then Veridata, then microservices. So do ensure to check which courses you are enrolled for. And if you see any discrepancy, revert over email or ping over WhatsApp. I can check it because everything is system generated. Based on that, you get the details. Okay, if there is any discrepancy, feel free to reach out to me. So first check this. Now next email which you would have received is related to lab setup kit. Okay, so this is the virtual box which is shared with you. Okay, so lab setup kit for practice. So basically with the training, you receive the virtual boxes for practice, which comes with database software 12.2 and Golden Gate 19C version. So for that to set up, the prerequisite is you need to have around 8 GB of RAM and 100 GB of hard disk space. The reason being, you will be setting up 2 virtual boxes. Now, if you have only one virtual box as well, that may suffice as well. But in that case, with 4 GB RAM, you will be creating uh, one image. You won't be cloning that. Okay. So do check your email related to these 2 things. Okay. So download this virtual box if you haven't done it, do download it. So click on this link. So here you will find VirtualBox, like what should I say? VirtualBox setup. This is the VirtualBox. So where you import the image. So download it. So what I would suggest is like I have 6.0.20. The latest one is I think 6.1.16. So you can go to VirtualBox website and virtualbox.org and download the latest version as well if something is not working for you. Then this is the gate1.ova. This is the image file which is around 11 to 13 GB. So you need to download it. This may take some time to download. So you need to download it. Apart from that, you have this step-by-step pictorial guide how to set up and also the video. It is around 30 minutes video which tells you how to set up this lab. So what I would recommend is do watch this video. First download this, then download this gget1.ova, then watch this video. Like if you watch this video, it will clear a lot of your doubts. And follow this activity guide to set up your VirtualBox or set up your lab. So once you download this VirtualBox, what happens is you will see this screen, and on the left you won't see anything if nothing is there. Then what you need to do, once your VirtualBox is downloaded, you need to click on File and click on Import Appliance. Okay, then here you need to select the location from where you can import. Okay, once you import it, then click on Next. So gget1.ova, if I go to downloads, let me see, gget1. Okay, click on Next. Now here select MAC address policy as, so first one you can select include only NAT generate. You need to select this, generate new MAC address for all network adapters, and then click on import. Okay, once you do that, the import will happen. It may take some time. Next says you need to clone this. So you will see gget1. So if you have 8 GB RAM, then only move to the next step of cloning. If you have 4 GB RAM, then don't clone it. So once you want to clone it, right click on gget1 and click on clone. So for cloning, your gget1 should be shut down right now because my gget1 is running. That's why you see it is not like this. So ensure you are generating the new MAC address while cloning as well. Okay, click next, gget2 will come. Follow the instruction on video and also follow the instruction in the step-by-step guide. Once you do that, then you can right click and run it. Or click on it and click on start here. Okay, because I've already started it, that's why I think I'm not getting that option. So you will get the option of starting it. So when you start it, you will see this gget1 and gget2. So ensure that, so if I do welcome one, so I have two users created on these virtual boxes. One is Oracle and second is root. So the password of both is welcome one in small case. Okay, once you go into this, WLCOME1. So once you go into this, click on open terminal, right click and click on open terminal. Then to check the IP address, do ifconfig. Okay, so on gget2 you will need to change the because initially, because you are cloning, so it will be gget1. So what you need to do, you need to log in as root and you need to go to /etc/sysconfig/network. You will need to update that file in gget2 to change the hostname. So log in as root and go to vi/etc/sysconfig /network and update this host name to gget2. Okay, because by default, because you are cloning, so it will be gget1. Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.
So what you need to do is you need to update this to from gget1 to gget2. You have to update it. Okay. Once you do that, your changes will become effective. Now to make the changes effective, what you need to do, you need to restart it. How do you restart your VM? You do init 6. Init 0 shut down the VM, so you can only run it through root. So init 0 shut down the VM, init 6 restart the VM. Okay, you need to do init 6. So once you have done that, your gget1 and gget2 is ready. So the next step is to create the database on this server, on both the servers. So for creating the databases, the binaries are already installed. So the thing is, one thing I want to show you is /home/oracle/softwares. Okay, there is a directory called as /home/oracle/softwares. So under /home/oracle/softwares, you can find all the Golden Gate related binaries. So you can find classic binaries, MSA binaries. So this is the classic binary, this is Veridata binary, and this is MSA binary. So in your VM, when you import, you will find these binaries are available under location /home/oracle/softwares. And also there is one more folder called as scripts. So under this, you can find a few scripts present related to DML and DDL, which we'll be using later on. So the location is /home/oracle/softwares where you can find Golden Gate binaries. Okay, now coming back to database setup. So binaries are already installed, but you have to create the databases using DBCA. So on GGate1, you can create the database with the name OGGDB1. So the thing is, I have created multi-tenant databases on my machine, GGate1 and GGate2. So for the training, I'll be using multi-tenant databases. Now, I would highly recommend, if you don't have criteria which database to choose, I would highly recommend you to go and create multi-tenant database. Now, if you think that you need to create standalone database, then create standalone database, not non-multi-tenant database. So how to create a multi-tenant database? So go to Oracle Home, go to bin. Now there is DBCA available. So launch DBCA. So set the display using command xhost space plus. Okay, you will get this access control disabled. Client can connect from any host, and then run DBCA /DBCA. So what it will do, it will invoke the GUI installer for you, and you can create the database. So on GGate1, I have created the database with name OGGDB1. Container database name is OGGDB1, and pluggable database name is PDB1. On GGate2, you can create the database as OGGDB2 as container name and PDB2 as pluggable name. Okay, so what you need to do, click on create a database, then select the global database name as OGGDB1, and then provide the administrative password as welcome1 or whatever you want. And if you want to create a container database, this needs to be checked, and you need to provide the pluggable database name like PDB1, and then click on next and follow the instructions to create the database. The binaries are already installed, but you have to create the database. Okay, so Golden Gate supports the replication between non-multi-tenant and multi-tenant database. So if your source is multi-tenant, target is non-multi-tenant, Golden Gate supports. If your source is non-multi-tenant, target is multi-tenant, Golden Gate can replicate the data without any issues. Okay, so create the database, and yeah, this is the thing which you have to do. So what you have to do, you have to refer to lab setup email, and if you have any issues, drop an email. If you haven't received any email, if you think any of the email is missing, drop an email to me at ashishaggarwal@gmail.com. I'll look into it. Then Golden Gate binaries are present in location /home/oracle/softwares. Preferably create 12c multi-tenant database using DBCA. And in the next session, we'll be installing Oracle Golden Gate. Okay, and also on GGate2, modify the entries of TNS names.ora, because you may have TNS entry related to GGate, like PDB1, OGGDB1. So you need to edit the TNS names.ora on GGate2 while you create the database. And then what you need to do is, for today's session as a task, what you need to do is you need to complete the lab setup for both the VMs and create the database instances on both the nodes. Okay, so in the next session we'll be discussing about Oracle Golden Gate architecture in detail, and then we'll be moving to download installation of Oracle Golden Gate and how to go through the certification matrix. Okay, thank you.